Alrighty, it is a little bit after 10, but thank you so much for watching. My name is Eileen and I own Jane Nicole Designs. Good morning. It is an awesome Wednesday. We are ready for some sunshine, and I kid you not, it's one of those. We are definitely in the springtime, but I don't know about you guys, but I ended up in the last couple days, we had a little storm that came through, lots of wind, and a little bit of like hail and some snow. Actually, it was pretty funny. I was like, wow, this is, I usually, you know, where we were living before, I ended up having snow maybe after my birthday, which is March 25th. And so it was one of those, we thought, you know, I don't think it'll ever snow after my birthday, and sure enough, it's been a long time since that's happened. So anyway, I am going to just hold on for a few seconds. Let's make sure everybody gets on. And like I said, I apologize. I ended up doing a little bit of prep work and things like that, and then I got into crafting and I was like, oh no, and my husband Jeffrey came down and he goes, are you gonna go live like at 10? And I'm like, oh, I had no idea. So anyway, it was one of those, we were just kind of talking about, oops, you know, no time like the present, I guess, right? So today we are going to go on a Americano journey with some flowers, and it's a concept that you know, we talked last week. I made some dishes and things like that to put in my room, and then I kind of all week long, I kind of just, sorry, I'm moving things around just to make sure you can see. I kind of just, we looked at some bedspreads and things like that, and I was like, man, should I do the Americano? Should I do outdoorsy or woodsy, since I'm in Idaho and we have trees and mountains all around us? Should I go in that realm? And then I decided, you know what, today's the day. I made the decision this morning. I'm going to stick with Americano. And this last weekend we took my master bedroom and we changed it all around. We put our bedroom used to be on this side, and we put it on the other side and of our room. And my husband, if you get a chance to look up, it's called Idaho Blue Pine. We put that on the back side where our, almost like a headboard. Good morning, Amanda. It's good to see you're watching. So we decided, you know what, we're gonna kind of go with Americano. We're gonna put the Idaho Blue Pine in there. And oh good, you saw the new bedroom. I know, Jeff, he was so excited about it. It went up really nice. All we did was just put the slats up. We had two little outlets that we had to go around. Otherwise it was just, and the fun thing is when we decided that we were going to do this, and getting the wood and things like that, it was like, okay, the wall was 8 feet by 12, and we're like, okay. And I used my crafting paper skills of saying, okay, I have an 8 by 12, and I did it by inches, and then I times it by feet. And I'm like, okay, honey, this is how many boards you need. And it worked out really well. We did 8-foot sections and then 4-foot sections, and put it up the wall, and it was wonderful. So that kind of just inspired me to say, okay, do I really want to go with the outdoorsy theme? You know, so I'm gonna bring that that Americano in my bedroom. So the cool thing is that here we already have a little bit of that stuff, but not a ton. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna start making some things that'll go in my bedroom. And I'll show you the pieces. I don't know if I'm gonna necessarily, you know, my bedroom's a sanctuary, so I don't know if I'm going to be showing it live, but anyway, we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll do it in the VIP. So if you are a Jane Nicole's VIP, you'll get to see the final product and project, I guess you'd say. So anyway, I'm going to make a project to go in my bedroom. And I have seen this with scrapbooking and different mediums and whatnot. as of lately with paper. And so I'm going to show you first. I have a little frame here. This I got actually from a friend, and we were just walking. I do a walk with a gal, and we just kind of vent for a little bit, and then we pray for a while. And she's like, I got some stuff that I need to bring to the Goodwill. Can you drop it off for me? I'm like, oh, absolutely. And she was like, well, good morning, Joy. She said, well, let me know what what I need to do. And I said, oh, I'll come over and get it. And then I looked at some of the stuff, and I'm like, wow, there's some really cool things in here. And she's like, take what you want, and then just put, bring to the Goodwill or the thrift shop or whatever. Go ahead and donate what you don't. And so this was one of the things. She is very eclectic. She has kind of old and new, and there's wood and metal all over in her house that is just beautifully decorated. So she gave this up, and so I'm super excited to be able to take it and revamp it today. So first thing we're going to do is this is chalk paint. We are just going to, sorry it's backwards, but anyway, go ahead and take a snapshot. Good morning, Joy. And just, if you can get it, I got it at Walmart, and it's like a gel. So, you can't really see, but it's not very watery. It's almost like a gel. And I love that about this paint. It is from Art Minds. And like I said, I got it at Walmart. But before we do this, I'm going to tell you what I did. I prepped it by just taking just some good old baby wipes, and I scrubbed it down and made sure that it was, free from some dust, because when you chalk paint, you want to make sure that, it doesn't get too lumpy bumpy. But because of this right here, I think, all the lumps and bumps, it should be fine. So just did that. And then this here, this is pretty old. I don't even know how old this is, but I'm going to put it on my wall. So this right here, the stand is like, this is garbage for me. Unless you find a use for me, let me know, but I'm going to put it in my garbage right now. So I just went ahead and just took that off. And then here's this ribbon here. I'm just going to pull it off. There we go. It's so old that it ended up just ripping off pretty easily. Okay, and so this is it. I have these little tabs here. My hangers are up here on the top or on the side, and I am going to do it the long way instead of tall. So just wanted to show you, basically this is it. This is what I did. So it has a little window here, and we're going to just put our project in there, and then I'll just glue this shut, because we won't ever have to open it up. It does not have a glass in it, and I'm okay with that, because I'll show you what we're going to be doing. So come along with me. All right, so I'm going to set this over here. Make sure that it's, let's make sure that it's put together so that we don't have any tragedies of it opening up while I'm painting it. And I want to make sure that this goes down flat. There we go. So we'll just close the little tabs on it just to make it safer. And just want to let you know, all my projects, this is a wonderful tool to be able to use when you start painting and whatnot. I'm sorry you won't be able to see it all in here, but we'll do our best to get you to see the whole project. All right, I'm going to put my speckers on because I'm getting old and I need to make sure that I can see. So, all right, if you are watching, let me know where you're watching from. And also, if you've watched before, the little red button there that says live, it's going to be illuminated, and if not, it's the afterwards. And so you can go ahead and just type in #replay, and that allows me to see when you're going to be watching. So I just loaded up my brush. This is just a stipple brush that I got. It's from Plaid. It's a 5/8. And because this has a lot of definition and different things, I'm going to actually make it look almost like it's stippled, but I want to get in all the little nooks and crannies, and this might take a few minutes, but I want to also just On the flat parts, I'm just gonna strokes, and then in the raised parts, I'm gonna just pounce up and down. And this is okay as far as I might, you know, you're welcome to do a couple coats on it. But for this project, I'm looking for the kind of the farmhousey Americano, I'm looking a little bit for the wood to show through. And so I'm not gonna make it completely opaque. So just know that. Just if you see a piece and you're like, "Ooh, she didn't do it all the way," it's okay, I planned it that way. I might even just leave some of the, I might even leave some of that dark showing through there where you can see where it's a little bit opaque and not. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of character in that way. And I think some of the projects that we do, if it's because of, I'm gonna use the red, white, and blue theme, I want a little bit of the dark to shine through. If I were doing this on, I'm gonna move this because this is bouncing. If I were to do it on like a farmhouse or boho, something like that, I would definitely paint this a couple times so that you make sure that that doesn't show through. So boho is more of the non-distressed in that way. So we're just going to keep plugging along here. I want to make sure that, like I said, I'll get in the nooks and crannies where I want it to, but then I will leave some of the distressed showing through. There we go. So the noise that you heard while I first got on there is we are going to be using some Cricut flowers that I cut, and it was just finishing up. Like I said, I had some things that I was doing today, and then I was like, oh, you know what? I forgot to finish all my flowers that I was gonna use today. And so I will be showing you that. And I think it's really fun. If you don't have a Cricut and you wanna do the flowers, shoot me a text, because I would love to help you out on that. Sometimes these projects, you're like, oh, I don't have all the supplies. Well, let me know about it. I can help you out with making some flowers if you need to. And that's the cool part about crafting. We crafters got to help each other out. But right now, I've seen quite a few in the thrift stores of the Cricuts. The Air, I have the Cricut Air. The newest one that came out is the Cricut Maker, and it's I think it's 3. So good morning, Sharon. It's good to see you're watching. I have not upgraded to the Maker, the Cricut Maker, because right now all I do with my t-shirts, and I do tote bags and things like that for different companies and whatnot. I do have my own Etsy store, but right now all the things that I do, I really don't need the Maker yet. So I've kind of just let y'all decide to get the Makers, because I'm one of those. If it's not broken, I really don't feel like upgrading until it breaks is very cost effective. Now, if you have a birthday or something like that and it's coming along and you want to upgrade in that way for a gift, sure, go ahead. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. Go ahead and put in the comments. Give me some hearts there that you see that hold on here. Oh, there we go. Give me some hearts and let me know that you're hearing me okay and the lighting is all right. That just helps me. I'm not a very techie person, so it's one of those where I try my best to make sure that you can see and that there's enough lighting. And today we have beautiful weather outside. It is bluebird sky, but it is freezing cold. Oh, good. So it's one of those. All right, we'll scoot this over. I am not going to do the backside because that black, I actually want the white part of my frame to stand out. And then that black against my walls, I want it to kind of just fade into the wall there. So like I said, I'm just gonna stipple this on here and pounce, make sure that there is some of the gold. It's gold and almost like a brown color. It is shining through, and I think that's gonna be really pretty. And then I'm just doing a little bit of strokes here, just making it so that some of it shows through. And that's the cool thing about this chalk paint. It's really forgiving. And I would call myself, I don't know about you, let me know, but I would call myself a beginner painter because I don't usually paint very much until this last year. I kind of started getting into all the different mediums, but I really enjoy the chalk paint. I think it, I was a little nervous about using it, and now I'm like, oh, it's kind of one of my things that I like to put in my projects now. So coming down the home stretch here, and I am going to just go ahead. I think, yep, I did today. I brought and got out my my heat gun. That's my embossing tool, so that it's not too loud. Sometimes it gets really loud when I dry my projects. So I'm gonna use that, I think. Okay. So if I wanted to, like I said, if I was doing a farmhouse, I would do a second coat over this, and I would make sure that you can't see any brush strokes or anything like that. But for this project, like I said, I'm gonna go back over and just do a few little pieces here, just so that we're gonna get some different textures of the white. And then when this dries, I am going to seal it. And when there's a couple different ways that you can do this if you want to seal your chalk paint. And let me show you what I will use here. Last week we used, I showed you that we were going to use some wax. And actually, I did not do the wax for that project. I am going to actually use like a shellac. So, all right. So what do you guys think? Is it something, should I do another coat? I'm kind of liking it. I like the idea of being able to have a little of the brown show through, because in my room I'm going to have some rustic things that I'm going to be using, so I don't want to do it completely white. But this is what I was talking about. This is my embossing tool. I use this for the stand piece could be made into a doorknob hang. Awesome, Joy. Okay, let me see. Hold on a minute. Okay, I'm taking that out of my trash can. Okay, so that's my challenge. We're gonna see what I can use. I'm not sure yet. Okay, all right. You saved it, Joy. You saved it from the garbage can. Okay. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of this with my embossing tool. I use this for card making when I want to emboss an image, and it gets pretty warm. So I'm just gonna use this for a few minutes just to make sure when I start using my other, putting my pieces into my project, I don't want them wet. But this is a good way if you want to hurry up on your projects. If you don't, I would leave this probably for a couple hours before you start using it. So I'm just going to do a little bit, and then we're going to work on our other stuff. But first of all, I just want, you know me, I'm the McDonald's person. I want it right now. I don't want to wait for things, so. but it does have some spots in here where when I used my paint, I did actually use it and put it pretty thick. So I want to make sure that in between those crevices where that paint is, I want to make sure that it's dry. But so in the comments, let me know how things are going. Is your weather okay? Like I said, did you get the storm and the wind and the rain like we did on the West Coast? I have a little piece right there. I'm gonna make sure. There we go. So I'm liking how this is going. It's looking almost like a tattered white frame that someone either, you know, had a couple different pictures in it and it ended up getting weathered. And this color is a off-white, so it's not super stark white. There we go. Oh. Joy, you're gonna get some sunshine, hail. Oh wow, and thunder. Oh my goodness. Wow. Especially in Washington where you're at. not as fun. Yes, yesterday we had one of those where part of the sky was just super dark, and then the other side of our house, if you went through on the other side, it was super light and sun shining and whatnot. So I recommend, if you're going to be using a brush and having a project and you don't have time to wash it, go ahead and just wrap it in a baby wipe. That's a good way to make sure that you don't want your brushes to get ruined because they've dried out with the chalk paint. So, and here's another image of it again. This is the chalk paint. I believe it's called Porcelain, and it's from Art Minds. I got it at Walmart, and it was like $4. And I've been using it for probably 3 or 4 months, and it's actually had a lot of use. So it's been a really good one. Okay. So now we're just gonna let that dry for a little bit, and we're gonna move on to our paper. So what we're gonna be doing today is I have my Cricut, and I went on to, if you wanna write this down, amazing site. It's called designbundles.net. And so designbundles.net is one of those websites that you can buy SVGs or PNGs, which are cut files. I use them on my t-shirts. I use them for scrapbooking, all different stuff like that. And some of it's free and some of it you can purchase. And let me get my paper here because I wanted to make sure that I told you the right one. So it's designbundles.net. The flowers that I'm going to be using today is called Rolled Flower SVG, and it is by Fly Design. So if you go to designbundles.net, you type in Rolled Flowers SVG, it is $8 to get the bundle that I'm going to be using. It does have a commercial license, so if I wanted to, I could make these and then sell them. Or you could make stuff like this and then sell it. That's the cool thing about Design Bundles. Most of their SVGs and things like that is commercial friendly. So that's really cool. I was like, okay. And I was searching on the internet trying to find some freebies and whatnot. And you know what? I went back to what I really like, and that's the Design Bundles. So what I did is I I went to Design Bundles, bought it, downloaded it on my Cricut, and for time's sake, I was just gonna tell you how, I went and cut them out, and I have some of them that I was doing. That's why I was kind of late. I have some of them that I already started. But this is what we're going to be using today. This is what they look like. I did some of them, and this is what the cut image looks like when you cut them out. And then I will show you how we put them together. So super fun. You can use scraps, different things like that. This is a 4-inch cut. So, I always keep every little piece that I can. So if you have a 4x4 little inch, scrap, you can make a flower. So this one comes with, I think, about 12 different flowers and different types of flowers. So like this one here, you see the petals are just really more straight up and down. It's got a little peak there. And then this one here, this is more of like, almost looks like a little paddle kind of petal, where these are just little leaves or little petals that you can roll, and I think it's more like a mum or something like that. This is more of like a rose kind of. So it just all depends. And then it's up to you. If you want to roll them really tight, or this is a lot looser here, it just depends. And I used both a combination of cardstock and background and texture paper. So this one here, I mean, you can roll them super tight. I'm actually choosing to roll them a little bit loose because I'm going to put something in the middle there. So just to let you know, that's kind of where we're going. So the first thing I did is when I chose my papers, this is cardstock. And this is at Michael's. I just got it. This is 8.5 by 11. So we got some of that, and then I did some. Let me move some stuff off to the side here so I don't make a mess. This is background and texture paper. It is only single-sided. So if you want to, I would suggest doing double-sided. But if you're, putting a bunch of flowers together and you don't mind that it's white, I think it's fine with my frame. I was okay with that. And like I said, this is the designs that I put together, making sure, and I'll show you how to do that when we start doing it. But this is how I did it. And I'm not going to be able to have every flower on there for right now. I'm not sure I'm going to have enough, but I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what I'm going to be doing. So let me run over to my Cricut here, and I'm going to show you this. You can not see it a little bit, but this is one of the cuts that I made, and this is the inside of the flower. And I just wanted to show you just kind of how I'm gonna do this. So the tools that I'm going to be using, this is kind of weird, it looks a little odd, but these are the tools that I'm going to be using today. This is a roller, it's from Impress, and you would use it for scoring and different things. This is my kind of needle tool that I use for weeding. We're going to be using that. This is one of the little, I can't remember, it's another scoring tool, and I'm going to use just this part of it. And then here's my hack. So when you do flowers like this, it has to be rolled up. And I was looking around on the internet trying to find just different things where, okay, how can I do this quicker, faster? And this right here is a little bobby pin, you could see it. And I just took some electrical tape and I put it on the end of a pen. The hack that I saw is you actually take the little bobby pin and you put it in a drill, just like a hand drill. And I thought, well, I'll run to my husband's stuff, do it. But what happens is some of those drills are so powerful that when you click the little, the trigger to be able to roll it up, it goes so fast that it rips the paper. So I decided to abandon that and make sure that I wouldn't rip a bunch of paper and ruin my project right now on live, but I just put it on the pen so that we can make sure that it's not going to have this. So this isn't, I don't know if you can find any tool other than like this, but it is super simple. A lot of us have it. Bobby pins, tape, and a pen. That's my hack for today. So, okay, we're gonna take our little paddle here. This is a Cricut one, and I'm just gonna take off. This is a brand new mat that I just got, so it is a little bit sticky, but the cool part about this, when you use this cut, it's so intricate that I want to make sure that it did a good job. So the fact this green here is a standard mat, and I don't get any other color than just the standard mats. So if you want to get the fabric and all that kind of stuff, I use painter's tape and start taping things down so I don't have to buy multiple mats when I'm doing stuff like this. So this is white cardstock. So I wanted to make sure that it was tough enough when it cut that it wouldn't rip. And I'm doing it a little bit gingerly because I want to make sure that the insides, see, isn't that fun? This is the throwaway, but I want to make sure that it stays together and it doesn't break. So let me just take a few seconds. And like I said, if this mat was a little bit more used, I would definitely, it would be easier to take off, but it's okay. I just wanted to make sure that it would go down. And so all I'm going to do is just pull this up, and then this is going to be the inside to my flowers. And I'm not going to use the whole thing on one. Unless, if you were doing a larger flower, I would, but since my flowers are a little bit smaller, I'm just going to use little pieces from here. So this is what it looks like. All right, let's get the other ones off, and then we're going to get started. I'll show you how I did this. There we go. I'm going to take these two, I think, for right now. Okay, there we go. All right, so this is where we're going. We want to just be able to put some flowers together, and I want to make sure this is my my piece of cardstock that I cut. I need to do one thing before I actually put it together, and that is to make this look a little bit more real instead of, you know, just straight petals. I'm actually going to take, this is my little poker tool here. I'm going to just take it, see how my thumb is, and I'm going to roll it just so that it's curved. And I want it, that's just going to give it a little bit more dimension and reality to it. I want to make sure that, you know, I don't want big lines in it. I just want to roll it so that it looks a little more real. You don't have to do that, but I think it just gives it a little more texture and the reality factor. I know, you know, you're going to look at this and you're going to definitely know that it's paper, but I want it to do a little bit, I want to do a little bit more reality. Okay, so there we go. That's what it looks like. And it's a little wobbly, different things, but this is how you do it. So I want to make sure that when I put this on here, that my petals are going to go and fold out. So go ahead and put that, see where I just put it on the first petal, and you want to go, and I'm going to try and do it backwards so you guys can see, but I want to fold the corner in a little bit to make it round. I'm going to set it right down on the top because this is going to be like our little table. And I'm just going to start turning. And I want the little piece there just to sit right on top of the pen. So, and I'm just going to keep going. I'm holding this up here because I want you guys to see how easy this is. Making sure that it sits up on top. and that will give you a really good fold. Okay, so there we go. Now, if I wanted to, I could start playing around with it here, start moving, pulling it, twisting it. If I wanted to, I can open it up a little bit more. So I'm gonna twist my pen. See how it's starting to look a little bit more realistic? But I just wanna look and see, okay, where you can decide. And then I'm just gonna pull this. So that's what it looks like. It's got like a little round spot there. And then this little round dot is where, that's the base of your flower. So I'm just gonna hold it with my fingers like this. I'm gonna take my glue gun. You can take whatever you want. And I glue on the dot. You don't want a ton of glue. You don't want it to stick up too high. But I'm gonna start turning it a little bit before that glue sets up. There we go. And then I'm just gonna start mushing it out, just moving the petals around a little bit. And if I wanted to, see that's kind of long, I can just twist it in. So you can start making, you know, just play with it. They don't have to be perfect, but isn't that super cute? So now I want to put in a little bit of the middle. And so I just am going to take a little piece and I'm just going to roll it on top of itself, doing kind of like a little ziggy zag, just like that. You can move it around, just make it look a little bit more realistic. And then go ahead and just take a little bit of, find your middle first, okay? And then, here's my middle. And I'm gonna take a tiny bit of glue and I'm gonna put this in the inside. If you want to, you can fold up your petals around it. And then just start moving the petals around and bending them on the sides there. I'm gonna put a little bit more glue in here so it catches all of the, and there you have it. Isn't that super fun? I absolutely love it. Okay, so that's how you make the flowers. I'm gonna do one of the larger ones. So this one here, I didn't really bend things over because this is a lighter paper and you could do a little bit of like this kind of, but rolling it on the pieces of, you know, the tools and whatnot, I found that it kind of ripped a little bit. So if you want to do a little bit of just with your fingers, and like I said, start from the outside here and go ahead and just set it on there. And then you're going to go ahead and turn it in on itself. And here we go. And I do a little bit of rounding, make sure that it's not too flat. And then keep it pretty tight as you're rolling it. And then when we get done rolling it, then that's when we'll start fluffing it. Because that would look, I mean, whew, that's a little too small. Okay, then just pull that out. And then see, it would be like this ginormous thing. So what I did is I just set it here. I'm gonna let it open up a little bit. And then deciding where you know, how close I want it to go. It's just your decision. There's some people that do it really tight, and then it just depends on what you're going to be doing. And I just hold the middle there, and then I'm just going to start moving the paper around to where I want it to be. There we go. All right, so there's another one. I'll flip it on its side. There we go. So Just depends on how you would like to make them. So let's do another one. We want to make sure that I want to get, and the other thing too is you're going to have I call them the glue spider webs. You can also take a hair dryer when you're done. When you finish gluing this whole project together, just a little tip for you. Take and shoot the whole project with a hair dryer, and those little spider web things from the glue gun will actually just shrink up and you won't have to worry about them. So this one here I'm going to do, I'm not going to do anything other than just twirl it, and we'll see what happens. And that's the cool thing about this project. If you want to, you can make it as realistic as you would like. If you want to, you can keep it just that little, you know, if you wanted to do a bud or something like that, you're welcome to use your imagination. So like I said, I'm going to push this down and I'm going to let it flare out a little bit. I want this one to be a little bit smaller. And then, like I said, you can just start moving and making the petals to what you want. And then let's go ahead and we're going to just rake off a little piece. We're going to roll it kind of zigzaggy on each other. Make it a little bit more realistic looking. And then go ahead and just pop that in the middle of your project. There we go. Okay, so let me know, is this something that you're like, I want to do this, or I'm not sure yet? YouTube has a ton of videos. The project that I bought this from on Design Bundles has a tutorial on how to do the flowers, so you can use that. And that's the cool thing, the fly design, they gave you not only just you know, the images and things like that, but they gave you a little how-to tutorial on how to make the flowers. So I think that's great. Some of them I'm not going to put that middle in there. Some of them I do because it has a middle that's pretty wide in the inside there. But like I said, this is one of those you could take. I mean, like I said, for time's sake, I don't want to take up the whole morning, but for time's sake, I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to start this project, and you will definitely get to see the end results when I'm finished. I will post if I decide. I know a lot of times, I don't know about you, I futz around with projects and I start them and then I start going and then I'm like, am I done yet? And then I am like, oh, I'm not done yet. So I kind of go back and do a little revamping. And sometimes if I have projects that it's missing just a little here and there, isn't that cute? I go back and either repaint or, you know, if I've missed some spots and things like that, I definitely get to, I go back and do that. So, all right. And like I said, it's going to be on the wall, so people are not going to be like coming up and examining kind of thing. This is a project that it's a lot, you know, it's for me kind of thing. So I'm not going to try and be so perfectionist that, you know, it's going to take me days to finish this. Oh, look, see, I got all these spider webs going on. So Easter is around the corner. What's going on for Easter? Are you guys finished decorating? I will show you mine, but not yet. I'm still finishing up a few things for my tablescape. We did have a very dear friend of ours come over and have some steak the other night, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna start, and I put a little bit of the bunny stuff out that I have. And she was like, wow, this is the coolest, funnest thing ever. So I think I will keep on with the bunny theme. And you can see in the back there, I have my welcome bunny and the bunny garland that I made. That tutorial is on my J. Nicole Designs Facebook page, so you're welcome to do that and see how I made that. That was one of my favorite projects for in a long time that I've made. So okay, this one I'm going to do a little bit bigger because I have a larger flower, and I might put a little bit more in there. Yeah, I think so. I want this one to be full in the inside. So let's put that there. I'm going to let it open up a little bit, and then I'm going to put the other one on the side. There we go. So that's what it looks like in the inside. Okay, almost done. I have a couple more, and then I will start. I'll show you what I'm going to do with this. Thanks for hanging in there. I appreciate you guys. It is so fun to be able to be creative and to see what people are doing from the ideas that I have. I absolutely love it, especially when you send me pictures. It is super fun. Okay, so these are the flowers that I'm going to use for right now. You can kind of see some of them. But the cool thing that I'm going to do, I was at the Goodwill the other day, and I got this. This is a spray that you can use. It is gold, and it is from, it's called, I think it's called Herd Swap. I think that's what it's called. It is, let me look here. It is a acid-free, non-toxic spray that and I'm going to shake it up. It has a ball in there, but do you see how it has this gold shimmer to it? And I found it and I thought, oh, it's for scrapbooking or something like that. It's called Color Shine. It's gold. I thought, okay, let's try it. We'll see what happens. And I started going. So I'm going to put a glove on because I don't want this all over me. But like I said, it's a spray bottle, and I'm going to start it off there on the side. But look what happens. I'm going to spray it. And now it's going to be like, see the little splotches of paint? I will show you, it'll show up more on the blue. I just did this one right before we went live. And so this one here is a little rose. So isn't that cool? I love this idea. And then, you know, you can, I would go ahead and spray it on the surface first, and then just go ahead and decide how much you want. But it needs to dry a little bit. You could do it on the paper beforehand, but I just think it's such a little fun addition to my paper projects. Like I said, you could, if you wanted to, spray this beforehand and then do it, but I don't know if, you know, you'll have to try it. It's always one of those. See how it goes. But this is one of the things. You see my glove? It's got stuff on it. I would say you could use a piece of paper, something like that. But for this project, and it is a little bit, you know, it's metallic-y, so you just want to make sure that when you're using it, go ahead and this is my solution. I just decided I don't want to worry about the gold all over me. So we're just going to kind of let that hang out for a second. So the piece of paper that I'm going to be using, this is going to be my my base. And I want to make sure that when I do this, look at that one on the other side. I want it to be 8 by 10. So this here, this little square, I wrote it on here. It's 8 by 10. And I want to make sure that it sits in that square. So you don't have to be really super, you know, mindful of cutting super straight, but I want to make sure that when it goes in here, I like I said, it's going to cover up the right spots. So I'm just going to cut a little bit off and see what happens. If you have a paper cutter, go ahead and be my guest and use that, because, you know, that'll be a little bit more straight if you want to. But I'm just going to make sure a little bit more on that side. Let's do this. There we go. And this is what I really want my paper to be like. So I am going to just put that on there, and let's get some glue. This is one of my favorite glues to use for, this is all purpose, it's Elmer's. Last time I showed you, I used the Scotch 3M. Either one is fine. There we go. You can get this at the craft store. You can get it at Michael's. I think I got this one at Walmart. And I'm just gonna leave a tiny little rim around, because that's gonna hold my piece of paper in place. And the reason why I did the lighter paper is because I can bend it and it'll just kind of sit in there. Okay. Perfect. I'll trim a little bit more off. And like I say, you can decide what you want to do. You could take a piece of cardboard if you want to and put it in here. But I just wanted to make sure that the piece that's in here, there we go, perfect, is in the right spot. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna move that over a little bit. Okay, so there we go. I'm just gonna use that. All right, let's get our, I'm always a cleanup person. I wanna make sure that everything gets all moved around. I have a clean spot to be able to do this. Okay, so everybody can see, awesome. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start putting these where I would like them to go. And like I said, you can decide where you want your flowers. I'm gonna do kind of the put it together, and then I will add, but with this kind of a project, I like to go in lots of 3. And that's kind of how I cut things out. Making sure that there's different layers like that. Ooh, like that. Okay, so this is what, if you can see it, this is kind of what I'm doing. I am going to move it up to the top. And then I'll show you what I also have in the pack. So when you buy the pack of these flowers, the design bundles, this also comes with floral sticks of all sorts. And I just went on here, and this is just background and texture paper, so it is kind of flimsy, but I'm okay with that. What I did is I just printed out 2 of the designs. So this was on an 8.5 by 11 square, and when it cut, it just started lining them up all here. So that is what I suggest. If you have a project that you want to do and you're looking for a little bit of extra pizzazz and things like that, start with another texture and go ahead. I usually use 3 different colors like I said, a lot of this is odd numbers, like 3 colors, 3 of each design, that kind of thing. So I'm just going to go through and pick some of these out that I would like to put in my frame, and then I'll start moving them around and deciding where they're going to go. How easy is this? I love it. This is one of those projects, the more I get into it, I'm like, woohoo, okay. Let's just keep going. Okay, so there's some off to the side there, but I want to show you what I envision. Here's a leaf. We're going to actually just lay that out there so that it starts getting some dimension. So I'm going to start right now with my flowers, and I'm just going to take a little bit of glue and go ahead and start putting your pieces down. And like I said, I'm going to just start going, and it's however you would like to do it. There are so many, you know, different ways that you could do this project. But I think it is going to be beautiful. Also, before I get too far, let's make sure, yep, that this is going to be the top. Woohoo! I did it right. I was like, oh, if I wouldn't have done it right, I would have to pull all these off, but it's good. Go ahead and just make sure that the flowers are where you want to your liking. And like I said, you can do as many as you want. You could totally fill this up. You could put a saying in here. I think that would be really fun to put a saying, or some type of a, you know, like a holiday, whatever you would like. Merry Christmas, happy anniversary, you know, anything is good. Okay, so I'm going to, actually I'll have it go down to the side here, but now I want to start going in, and I'm going to take my glue gun and I'm just going to start putting in some greenery, because I want this to have a 3D look. And just go ahead and start putting things where you think, oh, yep, that's going to look great. In the middle. And like I said, I'm going to do the off-white and red and blue theme in my room. So I think this is going to be a perfect. Let's get that there. There we go. Like I said, if you want this to be a little bit more, you know, that it's going to last longer and whatnot, I would do these in cardstock. But for right now, I think I love just the daintiness of how this is going. I do like that you can start moving and molding the different pieces here. Okay, I'm going to do a few more. This is so exciting. It's one of those where, okay, I'll hold it up and show you in just a second. There we go. And if I wanted to, I can start, if I had some different little flowers and whatnot, I can start filling in the pieces and whatnot and making it super full, or just deciding, okay, here's my trick. I'm going to take my heat gun. I'm going to get rid of those webs from the, there we go. See, they shrink up. It's so funny. The big globs stay, but the little spider webs, they just kind of go away. There we go. Okay, so see how that is? This actually, it's going to be like this. so you will be able to see the flowers and all the different textures and things like that. And I love that. I love how it's turning out. So it's still a work in progress, but like I said, time-wise, I could spend a lot more, but there's two things that I wanted to show you. I got this, and it's not a comb, but this is a bow maker, and it's one of those, I got this on Amazon, I believe, or no, I went to Tuesday Mornings, and it's the store, it's called Tuesday Mornings, and I saw this, it was like $4.99, and I think you can get it online for like $12 or something, so it's a little bit more expensive, but I'm going to show you how to make a bow from this, and we're going to use, this is the buffalo check, and it's not a stark white, it does have a little bit of cream in it, so I want to make sure that I'm going to do that in my bedroom. I'm not going to use white most of this time. I'm just going to use this off-white color. So the cool thing is look at, there's instructions that it comes, and I'm super excited about that because this is the first time I've ever done this, so I'm going to go ahead and see how this goes. We're going to put, there we go, we're going to put that like that, and it's going to cross over, and then I'm going to hold it right there. These are the little pieces that you can make sure that it goes in the right spot. I think I want mine to be bigger. Hold on. Let's do this again. There we go. All right, so there's my bow. And I'm going to go down to the side. I want a little bit more of a tail on it. So I'm going to put it down here. It's kind of a little bit difficult to do it backwards. There we go. There we go. And then we're going to come down. I want it a little bit as long like that. Okay. So this, let's cut this off because I want just a simple bow. There we go. So that's how you would make it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and pull these up. And then we're going to take this off so that it is, I know it's kind of weird, but see how it's going to go here? This is the front side of it. I'm just going to pull it up. And then you have the exact same bows on each side. Isn't that cool? Now, I know there's also ways that you can do it where you can have multiple different ones. I think up to like, 8, 10 different, so that you can do the big, huge, like wreath bows and things like that. But I just wanted a little one so that it's just going to go down on the side here. So I'm just going to cut a little piece off of my ribbon because I want to be able to wrap this around here just like that. I just want to wrap it, and then I'm going to take my heat gun, put one side down, let's do the other side. There we go. Oh, this is looking cute. Okay, so I do want to do this one as a dovetail, so I'll just fold it in half. And I don't know if I want it this long. I'm not going to do it this long. I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter. And I will use those other pieces. Okay, so there is my bow. And I'm going to tuck that right up into here. Let's see, I think I want it right there. There we go. All right, so let's move that off to the side. And then these are really fun, got some extra to do. But I'm going to go ahead and tuck these. Let's make it a little bit shorter. I'm going to tuck these in and just kind of keep that buffalo check theme going throughout my project. There we we go. And I will glue these in just a little bit, but I just want to make sure that's what I want to do. So, and go ahead and just fan it out. And this is wire ribbon, so you can go ahead and just start putting these. I love that you can just form them where you want them to be. Okay, there we go. All right, so see how that's looking? It's definitely a fun addition. You will not have anything like this at a store. You will definitely have a one-of-a-kind project. And then the last thing I wanted to show you is, this is Rub and Buff. And this one, last week I used gold. This week I'm gonna use black. And like I said, I always use a glove. And when you use Rub and Buff, it's just that little extra layer. If I wanted to, I would use, you could use gold. There's all sorts of different colors. But this one here, I just kind of wanted that little bit of a farmhousey, but Americano kind of thing. But I wanted to show you how this works. And you're just gonna take it and swing it right on the pieces that are sticking up. You can do it a lot, or you can do a little. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go over this just so it, remember I was talking about wanting that little bit of dark to show through. And this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna bring in that extra layer, and all I do is just take a little bit of a dab on my finger. And some of it, like I said, some of it's super dark, some of it you can just do lighter. It just all depends. But see how it gives it that little extra depth. And then when you're seeing it on the wall, it's just not gonna, the white's just not gonna get, or the cream's just not gonna get drowned out. Say, let's get a little bit more. I'm gonna do the outside of this frame, the swirlies. And like I said, it doesn't need to be perfect. That's the one thing I love about Rub and Buff. There we go. Like I said, some of it's going to be dark, some of it's going to be light. And if I wanted to, this got a little bit here, I will go back and I'll just take a little bit of the chalk paint and just paint over a little bit of it. So that's the cool thing about this. You can just make it to your own texture of what you would like. And if you wanted to, you could go on the inside here. This is another little layer of texturing here. Okay, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna fix this, because I want you to see what's going on here. This is super, super dark. So I'm just gonna take it. There we go. There we go. Awesome. Okay, you guys. So we did a lot today. Lots of different textures and different techniques and things like that. I want just to give you guys an idea of something that if you want to do this in your house and you don't have any way to get the flowers, text me, let me know. I would be glad to help you out to be able to, you know, if you want to get some extra flowers and things like that. But like I said, designbundles.net is the place to get those flowers. And if you go to Fly Design, they're the shop that I got the flowers from. But I think this is going to be a really fun start to my Americano room, and to be able to, you know, just have a little bit of extra of my personal touch in it. And that's what I love. I think it's going to be a super fun journey to be able to put all these different elements together. I have an idea of using this check for my curtains and things like that. I have a red and blue bedspread that I'm going to be using. So do keep watching. I have a few more projects. And just for our kicks and grins, if you are watching and you want one of these, this is the gold that spray that we used. I do have one that I want to give away. So when you let's see, let's do gold spray. So I know it sounds kind of weird, but if you want to be in a drawing to get this gold spray, go ahead and in the comments type in gold spray, and then next time I will draw for that name, and then I'll send you this out. And the only thing is if you get it, let me know what you're going to be doing with it, or send me a picture of what the projects are that you're going to use with it. So like I said, gold spray in the comments if you want to be entered into getting this. And like I said, next week I will draw for the winner. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's a little bit longer today, but I just wanted to show you the fun that I'm having in this journey of putting my Americano room together. And ooh, cool, Joy, I'll put you in the drawing. But thank you so much for watching. And if you like my stuff, if you want to keep watching, go ahead and put, you know, in the comments. The more you share, the more you comment, that kind of thing, the more I get looked at, that kind of, you know. But if you would like, I do have a special group, the J. Nicole Designs VIPs. If you want to be a part of that, that's where I'm going to be posting the finished product of my room. I think it's kind of, yeah, we'll be doing it there. So if you want to find out and see this journey and how I'm finishing up my room, just let me know by going to the J. Nicole Designs VIPs, and then you'll be in on that. And that is a really fun page. I put in just some of my really favorite crafters and things like that I get my inspirations from. I post there where you can watch. It's not one of those where I only want you to see me. There's lots of different people out there that have great ideas to be able to, you know, spark your interest in your crafting journeys. So have a great Wednesday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. You know, in a little bit, it's going to be Easter, so I hope you're preparing for that. Give me some photos of what you guys are doing for Easter and making, or tablescapes, or whatever it is. But I so appreciate each one of you watching and being a part of my crafting journey. So till next time, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Take care.